Okay, we are into the next Zendikar Rising draft. This is tournament 2 of our challenge. We have opened Valakut Exploration. I'm really not crazy about this card. The fact that it requires landfall to trigger means that if it finds a land with the card that you draw, you can't play it because you've already played a land, so it just pings your opponent for 1. Sometimes it works out very well where you consistently play a land, find a spell, play another land, find a spell, and that's kind of the dream, but it doesn't often work out that way, so I don't think we're going to take it. Colony Ambush is a very good card. It's green, it's a modal land, it's a removal spell. We like that it's a modal land, it's a removal spell. It's probably going to be our pick. These 2 gold cards are good, but I hate first picking gold cards. So it's got to be the Ambush. Like the Geyser Mage is a decent common, so is the Blood Priest, but it's not as good as Colony Ambush. So Ambush it is. Okay, pack 2, there's some nice cards for us to follow up with in green if we want to. The Veteran Adventurer is pretty strong. The downside is in green you don't often end up with a party deck, especially if you're green-white, for example. We're probably going to, if we pick up a lot of modal lands, we're going to want Stompers, which aren't party members, which kind of fill the role of this card. There is a nice removal spell here in black, but not particularly good in black-green because it's still good, but you're unlikely to get it cheaper with party. Zoth Consumption is a nice modal land as well. Like, honestly, it could be Deadly Alliance here, just has the best card. Veteran Adventure is okay, but if we end up with lots of modal lands, like I said, we're going to want Stompers instead. I wouldn't mind a Visionary. Yeah, like there's been times where I picked a Veteran Adventure and I just don't end up playing it. Like there's no need for it. Okay, solid blackguard here. We can pick again and thwart the grave. Thwart the grave. Again, a little bit weaker in black-green because you're going to need to make sure you have some party members. If I knew this was going to be in the next back, we would have considered maybe the last guy a little bit closer, but I think it's still the right pick. It's better than the Gnarly Colony. It's better than the Skyclave Cleric. Modal lands are nice, but this is one of the weaker ones probably. I mean, it's still helpful, but usually you want your modal lands to be better late than early. So you can use them as lands early and then play them as spells late. This is more of a 2-drop that is not particularly helpful outside of the early game, unless you're maybe in a Cleric's deck and like the life game. But I think it's just Thwart the Grave. Wow, okay, Vanquish the Weak is a nice removal spell. We could also take the Thought Thief and just go black-blue. It's really strong. Black and blue have both been flowing. I mean, the last pack there was a Diviner, which I guess is okay, not very strong. There's a Relic Vial here. If we went black-white, we might love that. I'm thinking Bala Get Recovery, though, because this is just a great modal land. It goes well with our green. We could take the Vanquish the Weak and just stick to black. I think that might be the better play because, yeah, if we end up black-green, this would be great. But let's solidify one color. Like, black is definitely flowing here. So we don't know if we want to be green. We don't know how open it is. Let's just solidify our black. This is a really good removal spell to play. It'll go really good with these 2. Let's take this. Wow, if we'd taken that Thought Thief, we would love the Infiltrator. It still might be the right pick here as the best card. If you have other rogues to enable this, that is definitely what you want to have so you can get in, can't be blocked, and then you draw some cards. I don't end up playing him a lot of times just because I never pick him. Like in my rogues deck, he's almost never there. Not that I wouldn't pick him if I saw him, I just don't see him. So the green cards aren't great here. The black cards aren't great here. We're going to pick something else. Let's take the Infiltrator. Okay. There is a decent blue card here we could take in the Veil. The blue and black's definitely been flowing. I hate passing that late Thought Thief, though. I still think it was correct to just stay black as much as possible. We could take Subtle Strike, but it's not really a priority. If we go green, we might really like the Reclaim as a way to splash. Or just stay as black as we can and try to avoid all other colors. Maybe that's the... I think it's either Reclaim or Subtle Strike. And let's just stay as black as we can here. Keep cutting it. Make it very clear it's not open, if we can. Seen a lot of black. Alright, and then a nice red card here in the Kazul's Fury, but red is probably seen more close off than any other color. Like, we just haven't seen red cards, period. So, I'm thinking we take that Reclaim now. If we were black-green, I guess the Survivor is okay, but it's still only okay in that deck. It's not really priority. So let's take the Reclaim. It will allow us to splash. It will allow us to splash. It will allow us to ramp. It has kicker. We might care about that. Wow. Wow. Black is looking wide. Like, these should not still be here. It's pick 8. I think Deadly Alliance is better. If we end up black-green, we're going to be try to fit in some party members, especially if we have Thwart the Grave, which can... If you don't have party members in your graveyard, you can only get back 1 creature, which is not ideal. So we're definitely going to try to get some party members going here, but we're taking Deadly Alliance again. Alright, we're getting our look at what's wheeled. A couple of green cards wheeled. The Ascetic is playable. It is a party member, and I think we like that. None of the blue cards wheeled. I mean, the white that wheeled is pretty terrible. A couple black cards wheeled. I think black-green's going to be our lane. We could do a black-green Clerics deck, which might be pretty sweet, actually. This would only be our first Cleric, but there's definitely some other black-green Clerics you can play. And I'm pretty sure this is going to lock up black-green for us. Wow, Zoth Consumption wheeled too. And the Visionary, like, yeah. Okay, we're taking Zoth Consumption. Let's get a little organized here. Actually, you know what? It's got to be Visionary. It's got to be Visionary. Because we need the party members. We've got double Deadly Alliance. Visionary is very good. A great card to reanimate. Let's take the Visionary. We'd like Zoth Consumption, but we're going to prioritize green party members that we like to play. And on that note, here's another party member. Who knows, we might end up with enough rogues to make this guy good. If not, he's just a 2-drop, which we don't have any yet. So yeah, Zendikar is bad. Do not play Zendikar if you can. And we are shaping up to be a black-green counters deck here. So neither of these are particularly great, but we'll take a Constrictor. We'll take one of them. And Lethal Form Blight, in case we really want to splash and don't find the green ways to do it. Again, I'm just not a fan of Nissa Zendikar. Alright, let's go into this next pack. Ooh, Scoot Swarm. I actually first picked this, I believe, in the first... Was it? No. Recently, I first picked it, but it didn't work out because green wasn't open. That's definitely not the case here. Get a little organized. Modal lands over here, spells over here. So, yeah, we're really light on creatures at this point. We're happy scooping up the Scoot Swarm. We wouldn't mind the Gnarly Colony or the Survivor as well. Even the Sky Dancer is a rogue that might go well with our Skulker. It's something you can flash in, give the Skulker Death Touch at instant speed. But I'm really happy with the Scoot Swarm. It's a great threat. If you play this, you definitely want to hold on playing this if you can. Like, you want to drop it when you have at least 6 lands, so it multiplies at least once, and then it's just incredibly hard to eliminate. Multiplies exponentially. Good card. Alright, a couple good options for us again here. There's a Cleric we could take to keep our Cleric's deck idea alive, but it's not as good as Count the Ambush or the Rabbit Bite. I think it's got to be the Ambush. I mean, it's a land and a spell. And we're going to hope to pick up... We're going to hope to pick up a Kazandu Stomper here at some point. Or we might even, now that we have these modal lands, we might play that Nissa Zendikar, but that would be if like we pick one and just can't find a Stomper in these next two rounds. I think the Ambush is better than Rabbit Bite. Wow, another Thwart the Grave. I don't think we take it though. Like, we're just not, we really want some party members, which we're not guaranteed to have. I think I'd rather just take a solid 2-drop here in the Colony. The Scythe Cat is good. Colony's better in my opinion. I mean, it's something you can play for 2 mana. We definitely want that. If you kick it, it comes in with counters. There's a 4/4 trample. Gives all your creatures with counters trample. And the more 2-drops we play, the more likely we are to fill our graveyard and have things we want to get back with Thwart. If we were playing black-white, black-red, black-blue, I'd take the Thwart, but we just don't want to be in a situation where we can only get one creature back with it. Okay, and here I think it's going to be the Pack Beast. I mean, it's probably better than the Nectarpod. It's something we can get back with Thwart. It's going to set up a splash if we want it. We've already got Reclaim and even Lethal Form Blight if we need it. I mean, it's better than the Nectarpod. It's definitely better than the Highborn Vampire. So, Pack Beast. There's that Stomper. Right on cue. I'll take it. So we've got the 2 mono lands. We could definitely pick up some more. This is a creature. I don't know what it's doing in that pile. We probably don't want Lethal Form Blight. I mean, let's be honest. If we play it, we'll have to, but... Okay, Stomper. Okay, and now I think it's going to be the Gloom Hunter. We wouldn't mind another Stomper, but I don't want to prioritize expensive spells. I'd rather have 2-drops. This is a 2-drop that's okay. It can be a solid 6-drop. It's not a very good blocker early, but at least if you can't block, you can attack and gain life. So I don't mind one of them in my deck. It's something we can put a counter on with Subtle Strike, which we like. Yeah, let's take the Gloom Hunter. Alright, I think this is a Survivor now. It's a party member. I wouldn't mind the Sentinel in a counters deck, especially if I have lots of ways to put counters on it, but we don't yet. We only have Subtle Strike, so I think we take the Survivor, and then if we see another Sentinel, we're like, we got a Survivor. That card gets a little better. Now I think it's the Snarecaster. I mean, one problem that we could have with this deck is flyers. Like with the Scoot Swarm, Ascetic, Stomper, we might own the ground here. We just don't want to lose in the air. It lowers the cost of Deadly Alliance. Could definitely have a role in our deck. I see that. Okay, another Dauntless Survivor. So we've got lots of ways to put counters on stuff. Blood Price is a draw spell we could play. In black-green, it's probably the best draw you're going to find. It does cost 2 life, which sucks. But you look at top 4 cards and pick the 2 best, that's pretty good. You're going to get 2 playables pretty much every time you play it. I guess Mind Drain, something we could play. Dreadworm's probably better, but in green, we're not going to have trouble picking up big threats, I don't think. I'm never crazy about Mind Drain, but it's something you can play. Do we take the Rock Slide Sorcerer and maybe splash it? Who knows? Maybe that works. Look at these red cards going around. Red was super closed off in the first pack, as is usually or often the case, not so in the second pack. Wow, okay, now we could take that Thwart. I'm actually interested in it because we've picked up quite a few party members here. We've got 2 Wizards, 2 Warriors, 2 Rogues, and a Cleric, and a Pack Beast. Yeah, we're taking Thwart. Wouldn't mind the Rabbit Bite, but we got plenty of removal. Or do we? We got 7 removal spells or something? A ton. Couple Deadly Alliances, Vanquish, Subtle Strike. Yeah, this is better than Rabbit Bite. It's definitely better than Blood Price. We could basically cut Blood Price and consider this our draw spell. Yeah. Wow, this pack is good. This pack is really good. Okay, there's a Vastwood Fortification. We certainly wouldn't mind that. Mono Land, we can put counters on stuff. I think we're more hurting for quality creatures at this point, though. We could even take Feed the Swarm as a removal. I'm thinking Scythecat or Visionary here. This is a spell. Scythecat, maybe it gets counters. We could pick up another really good counter payoff. We'd love a Scythecat. Yeah, like that pack was tough. There's tons of stuff there that I hope wheels. Roiling McGrowth, we really don't have many landfall triggers other than that Scythe Cat we just picked up. We're not splashing at this point. I think I'd rather just have the Florahedron. Some modal lands. We can ramp with it. Not crazy about this pack. We could even consider the Hunger, but I think the Hunger could wheel. Florahedron's better. Okay, now there's a really nice 2-drop we could take in the Blood Priest, or we could take one of these 4-drops, and I think that would be better. We're kind of hurting for threats here. I think the Baloth is the better pick. It's something big we can ambush with, which we definitely need a few of those in our deck. I mean, we got double ambush. I wouldn't mind another Visionary, but I think a good beater is the priority here. Probably cut Blood Price. I wouldn't mind the Blood Priest, but we don't have many party members. I mean, we have a few, but not a lot. Another Scythe Cat. Sweet. Alright. Creatures are starting to look pretty solid. Removal's looking very solid. Deck's looking pretty solid. We could take another Sorcerer and try to splash 2 of them. That would be funny. We've got some Instants and Sorcery here. We even have a Wizard, but not many. Yeah, I think that's... We might splash 1 theoretically, but 2 is a stretch. Gnarly Colony, solid 2-drop. We like those. This deck's going to be hard to cut. I think we really got there. And now let's take that Sentinel. I mean, we have double Dauntless Survivor. These could be good. We've also got Subtle Strike. It could be a big threat if we draw it late as a 4-5. You kick it. It's definitely better than the Constrictor. Wow, another Deadly Alliance. Do we want another one? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess so. You can never... Well, we got double ambush too. We could take a Stomper here, but I think we want to keep our curve down. We've got plenty... Like, these Gnarly Colonies can be kicked. The Gloom Hunter can be kicked. So it might look like we don't have a ton of threats, but we have plenty. Let's take this in case we want to get that Rock Slide Sorcerer in. Okay. Yes! 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 Is it better than Feed the Swarm? Oh, we've got some good removal. I really don't think Feed the Swarm is necessary. Let's take the Fortification. We do have that Stomper. I think this puts a counter on him, which we definitely care about. We're in the right colors. This is why you work so hard to figure what's open. Even Oblivion's Hunger might get played. And the Visionary Wheel too. Wow, this deck is busted. Alright, this is a really good black-green deck. We almost have like 0 payoffs for playing counters. Like, I mean, we've got some common payoffs. We have the Gnarly Colonies, which can give creatures with counters Trample. We have the Constrictor, which can give creatures with counters Menace. But aside from that, like for a black-green deck, we have almost 0 payoffs for playing counters. However, we have plenty of good cards in Synergy here. I'm pretty excited about playing this deck. Let's start with the creatures that we may play here. I'll just put in everything I'm remotely considering, which is usually the way I build decks. I start with the creatures and I just throw in everything I would maybe play. I'm also going to put all the modal lands in a pile along with our land. I believe there's 4 green modal lands maybe. We've got another one, don't we? That's Fortification. And then the creatures. So Scootsworm, Snarecaster, Scythe Cats, Baloth, Visionaries, Ascetic, Stomper. Pack Beast, Sentinel. Okay, so that leaves room for only 2 more cards. So obviously that's too much. Too many creatures. I think right away though we're gonna cut some of these forests. I can see us going with maybe 18 lands total. I mean, our curve is very reasonable. We've got some draw. This is 13, 17 land. So that's probably not enough. Let's add a swamp. We also have, I should say, Reclaim, which is basically a swamp, if you think about it. Because if you can cast Reclaim, you probably don't need forest. You might need a swamp though. So we can put it in with the swamps and then maybe cut a forest. So we've got 10 green sources, Reclaim, and then 7 black sources. So that's basically 18 lands. And then looking at our creatures, I think the Snarecaster is... I think we have the removal that we don't really need it. I'm hoping. We still got plenty of party members here. Probably the Pack Beast for those same reasons. We're just not splashing. We don't need party really. Like we've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 party members. That might not be enough considering we have double Thwart and triple Deadly Alliance. So maybe I like taking out the Constrictor here and putting back in the Snarecaster. I think I like that. I mean, we're not particularly aggressive. Like, these guys don't grow very fast. The Sentinel can't really attack unless you put counters on it. The Scootsworm takes forever. Once it gets going, though, it's busted. So we're not really a very aggressive deck. I think I'm fine like this. And then we've got some serious non-creature spells to consider here. So double Thwart, triple Deadly Alliance. Vanquish. Subtle Strike, maybe. And then that's it? Really? Wow, that's 40 cards exactly. That's perfect. That's pretty sick, I think. I like this deck a lot. This is a cool deck. See what it looks like once we put it all together. Alright, the curve looks a little high. I guess if you consider, let's say we have 1 party member. So in play, let's make these a 5 and then make this a 4. I would say the curve is maybe pretty reasonable. Like maybe a little high, but not overly high. We are playing 18 land essentially. I really like the Florahedron with the Scythe Cats because if you play this on turn 2 as a creature, on turn 3 you can tap this for mana, not play a land until after you cast a Scythe Cat, then drop the land, you get a counter. That's pretty cool. Alright, I think we can get some wins with this. I'll see you in the first round. Okay, we are into game 1. I think this is a keep. We've got an all green hand here, but this is a land basically. We've got a couple 2-drops, 3-drops. This is a good hand. I wouldn't mind Survivor with the counter on the Sentinel. So maybe we drop the Colony first? It depends on what we draw. Like if we hit lands, then maybe we keep the Colony. We did not. Okay, so the Hellhound is a good beater early. He hits us for 2. I like that he did nothing else there. So yeah, I think it is Colony here, followed by Sentinel on the following turn, and then maybe put a counter on the Sentinel. We could also put a counter on the Colony, which would make it a good block for the Hellhound. Like if he plays another Hellhound or something, then we consider that, I think. So yeah, there's a green. You always have to worry about roiling regrowth with these stupid Hellhounds. No blocks. Okay, so I think it is going to be the Sentinel now. We could even swing. If he comes in with the Hellhound next turn, I probably wouldn't block anyways. Or maybe we do block and it would be a 2-3. Yeah, we would definitely block. If we force something out of his hand, like a Rolling Regrowth and kills our Sentinel, that would be fine. This is a good block. For some reason I was thinking this is a 3-2, but it's actually a 2-3, so it's a great block. Broken wings. Now I've seen everything. Yeah, we're in bronze here. This is usually a sideboard card. Do not main deck this in best of one if you can. If you can. Perfect black source. So I think we attack again and play the Baloth, or we could play a land and maybe Scoot Swarm, but I'd like to save the Scoot Swarm if we can. I think we attack again. We're just going to play the Baloth. Helion's big. It is big, but it means he can't attack. He will deal 2 to us, but he can't attack with the Hellhound now. There's no way to put more land into play. This is a little annoying. I think I'm actually going to play the Survivor here, put a counter on the Baloth. This way it can trade with the Hellion. And we'll have lowered the cost of Deadly Alliance. So the Dauntless Survivor is unlikely to get picked off here. It'll stay in play. It'll give us a party size so that we'll have an answer for this Hellion if our Baloth gets destroyed. Okay, so there could be a Roiling Regrowth here. We would take 6. But it would be out of his hands. I don't really see other options here. Fortification will do the trick as well. So 1 mana spell kills our creature pretty strong. But like I said, we now have enough for Deadly Alliance, which is good. Our deck is not being very kind to us with the land count here. Okay, so now what we're going to do, if he plays a land and comes in next turn, we're going to double block the Hellhound. If he has some sort of trick to pump up the Hellhound, we'll kill it with Vanquish. If he decides to pump the Hellion, maybe with a Kicked Might of Marasa. Oh, that's what he's going to do. The Zendikar can swing. But with 1 green, there's really no spells he can cast. So I think what I want to do here is double block the Hellhound. He'll definitely want to kill the Colony. It doesn't matter because we're going to use Deadly Alliance now to kill this Hellion. That'll bring us to 6 life. And then hopefully we hit a land. We can Scoot Swarm, make a token maybe, and then hold up Subtle Strike. I don't really see other options here. Oh, he's going to kill the Survivor first. Okay, well, we're using our Deadly Alliance anyways. That's good for us. I'd rather have a 2-2 than a 1-1. Some land would be swell, deck. Ah. Alright, I don't think he has any effects, or else he would have kept his mana open on the last turn, I would think. Like, we could just take the 4, but I think we have to try to 2 for 1 here. Like, if we make this a 3-3 and then this a 3-3 with... Yeah, we just don't have the land to operate here. Come on, deck. Playing 18 lands in this thing. This is where we get blown out. Because this is already a terrible 2 for 1. I guess we're going to get 2 for 1 anyways here. See if he has it. Yeah. Okay. Good thing we didn't. Good thing we blocked. We'd love a couple of land here. We could just chump this thing for days with the Scoot Swarm. Running with growth, that's fine. We were worried about that, and there it is. Still no land. Give me a break, deck. Alright, it's gotta be Scoot Swarm here, and just hope we survive. We're not going to block. We're gonna hope to draw land, make tokens. Yeah. 15 cards in and 4 land. So we're dead to Royal Eruption. We're dead to a lot of things. We're hoping that we survive, make some tokens here. There's a land. Jesus Peasus. So we could play the Scythe Cat and then play the land. Vanquish the Weak is not looking good here. We could just chomp with the Gloom Hunter. If he doesn't draw a land, then this is only going to be a 4-3 and the Scythe Cat can block it. Otherwise, it chumps. We could even play a land and play the Gloom Hunter, so that's good too. Okay. No land, bro. Come on. No land. You got nothing. You got nothing useful at all. No magic card. Those cards aren't even cards. You got a crummy little 2-drop. Yes! Yes, we just need one more land. We might be in business here. Come on, land. Swarm Shambler, there's that crummy 2-drop I was hoping for. Not exactly crummy, but something we can deal with. Yes, deck! Yes! About time. I was getting a little worried here. We're definitely bouncing 2 lands with the Scoot Swarm in play. Acidic, that's fine. We can, like, these Scoot Swarms are just going to absolutely multiply. We just need to gain some life and get out of... What I'm really worried about is Royal Eruption range or Kazul's Fury range. We might even put a counter on our Gloom Hunter to try to get out of there faster. Nice. So this can fight the Zendikar, which has reach. And then we can attack with the Gloom Hunter. Gain some life. Yeah, I like that. Oh, we only have 5 lands. Whoops. Well, at least we got 2 1/1s. Okay. We bounced 2 of our lands. I forgot this. Screwstorm's not going to multiply as well. Let's not make other mistakes here. Visionary. It's pretty good. If we can just keep gaining life and like if we draw land non-stop, I'm fine with that. Like we'll just clog up the ground. It's absolutely fine. Let's get out of Royal Eruption range. That's pretty much my concern. We're gonna have to kill this Swarm Shambler, maybe. I mean, it could conceivably grow big, but are we really worried about that with all these tokens? Maybe not. I mean, what's he gonna do? Attack us with it? We are officially out of Kazil's Fury range. We are out of Royal Eruption range. Okay. I think I'm going to block here, jump here, and then block with 2 here. This way we're using the tokens that won't multiply. If he does something to pump the Shambler and kill our Stomper, we can respond with Vanquish. There it is. So the first part, put 2 counters on target creature, is going to the Ascetic. The second part, target player gains X life, is pointing at him, obviously. And then the third part, target creature fights, is pointing at the Shambler. I think? No. The first 2 parts, I think, are pointing at... I can't really tell what this is doing. Whatever, we only have 1 play we can make anyways. Let's kill this Shambler. Okay, he was killing our... I could not tell what was pointing at there. That's a little annoying. Actually, very annoying. But we only had 1 play. Alright, reclaim and start killing him, I guess. We'll just go with the Stomper. No. No. Alright, we can still survive this. We just have to block here and block here. Visionary's nice. Let's see what we find. That's good. I think now we attack with everything. Let's kill him, make sure he can't Royal Erupt us. Let's end this game. No Royal Eruption, no Royal Eruption, no Royal Eruption, no Royal Eruption, no Royal Eruption. Blank blade. Alright, we got there. Good game. Even though the deck really didn't give us the land we needed to start this game, we got there. Alright, we're into the next game. This is a keep. Yeah, that was really frustrating not being able to tell what the inscription was pointing at there. I think using our removal was absolutely unnecessary, but I couldn't tell, and I thought I was running out of time. I probably could have taken more time to consider it, but I don't know. It's just very frustrating, and I thought I was running out of time. I think the Survivor to trade with the Bug Catcher is a good idea. We'll probably play this as a land, play the Gloom Hunter, and then drag a Visionary the following turn. Or we could just play the Scythe Cat. We might not have the mana to play the Visionary on the following turn, though, which strikes me as kind of important. At the same time, we do have double black. Like, would we block this thing next turn? We could play a land, play the Gloom Hunter. Our deck really let us down with land in the last game. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna get a little greedy here. We're just gonna play the Gloom Hunter and pass the turn. If he attacks, I could see these trading. If not, we can put a counter on this eventually. In fact, maybe we just eat two. We'll see what else he does. We can still get a counter from the Scythe next turn. We play it, then play a land. Or other option. Okay, Fast with Surge won't save us here. Take two. Land would be swell deck. Scythe Cat. Fortification. These Visionaries, when they do go to the graveyard eventually, will give us something else to get back with Thwart, which is nice. They'll also lower the cost of Deadly Alliance. I really love the Visionaries. I think they're great cards. Ooh, okay. Relic Golem. Alright, well, we're going to have lots of stuff to get back from our graveyard, it looks like. Visionary. Hopefully hit a land. No land. He can't attack or block yet with the Golem, and that costs mana to put stuff in our graveyard, so it might limit what he can do here if he wants to be able to attack or block with it. And we have Deadly Alliance, which can easily handle it if we have to. We're in good shape. Okay, he's got the removal, and it looks like he's going to hold up the land to mill us. Never mind holding it up, just do it right away. Okay, you got a land off the top, which is a little annoying. Come on, deck. Land! I guess it doesn't matter now. But there it is. Alright, we'll trade. He does not want to trade. How many are in our graveyard now? 5. So, Thwart could actually step... We might use it even though we have creatures in hand just to keep him from being able to use his Golem. And then when he finally can use it, we just Deadly Alliance it. Scythe Cat. No blocks. Scythe Cat and Dauntless Survivor are not particularly exciting to get back, though. Maybe it's better. We've got 7 in our grave. We can just attack with both here. Play the Colony. Yeah, we do have a party member here, so we'd have to get back the Survivor and the Scythe Cat. I think we'd rather just get another creature into play. He's at 8. Nothing. Okay. We do have to be a little worried about him, or sorry, playing another spell. And putting 8 into our graveyard by accident here. Before blocks. So we're just going to attack. Spellcraft. That's going to put 8 in our grave. So we have to respond with Deadly Alliance. Okay, we're probably going to have enough to kick the Sentinel. I think we just put the counter on the Survivor here. No, I want a big attacker. Let's go with it on the Visionary. So now we can get some quality creatures back. We can get back the Visionary. And maybe the Scythe Cat as well. Or we could just attack these trade and then play the Ascetic. That's even a better creature to get back if it dies. You could block with a Wind Robber and then sack it to draw a card. I mean, it buys him a little time, sure. We could have played the Colony and made that strategy not work by giving our creature trample, but if you reanimate the Colony, it's not particularly good because you can't kick it. It comes back as a 2/2. I'd rather this die somehow. And then we could get a Visionary and a Turn Timber Ascetic back, which would be pretty much game winning. Mystic is going to kill our Dauntless Survivor with the Sorcerer. That's fine. Now I think we attack first. Chilling Trap maybe? No, chump. And we can kick the Sentinel now. Why play Thwart the Grave? So our opponent had a decent Wizards deck. That Relic Golem seemed a little out of place, but he sure had the removal, Thundering Rebuke, Royal Eruption, Spellcraft. Rockslide Sorcerer is awesome. He had a pretty strong Wizards deck here. That Golem was really out of place. The Bugcatcher I would usually not run in that deck. See if he has anything here. Glacial Grasp will buy him a turn. Okay. Good game. Okay, we are into game 3. We've got another all green hand here. This deck just does not want to cooperate with the mana. We're keeping us. I'm really interested in Florahedron and then turn 4 Baloth. Or sorry, turn 3 Baloth. So we've got 3 modal lands here. Do we want to play one of them as a land? Like just one? I don't think so. Let's get greedy here. We can hit a land in the next 2 cards, right? Oh, deck. Alright. Florahedron it is. Come on, deck, hit me with that swamp. Uh-oh. No! You stupid deck. Okay, so the Vine Gecko is sweet. He's in green-red. He could easily have a lot of kicker. No attacks. Should have played a land there, probably. No! I should have totally played a land on the last turn. What was I thinking? I guess this is the more useful late game spell, Count the Ambush, so... Wow, what a punt. I should have absolutely played a land there. And Vastwood Search, not kicked, but this Scythe Cat is going to get big. Do we want to respond and just kill this thing? We don't have a good answer for it. We're going to get 2 for 1 anyways. Let's just use our Survivor, kill this thing. Yeah. Still no land, but hopefully the Visionary can take care of that problem. No. What is up with this deck? I mean, we got 18 sources basically. Okay, that's bad. Still no land. Aloth, beater. We got plenty of removal though. If our deck gives us land or removal, I like how this game's going. We're definitely a turn behind there. That was a bit of a punt. I can't believe I didn't. I don't know what I was thinking. I meant to play a land. I didn't. I should have played one of our modal lands as a land on that turn. And he's kicking this Scorch Rider, which gives it haste. I'm fine blocking with the Visionary though. Land! Ah! Land! Land! It's probably too late, but land! Jesus. We're gonna have to chump if somehow this ascetic dies, I think. So we're not attacking. Brother option to our face brings us to 4 and kills us with the Sentinel. Oh snap. I see a black source. I see green sources. I see Reclaim. I was probably being a little harsh. Our deck did deal us land in that last game. It was just they were all modal lands. And because it didn't deal us anything else, we had to use those modal lands as spells. So, I mean, the modal land thing doesn't work out perfectly when all your lands are modal lands. It's like, well, I gotta use some of these as spells even though I don't want to, and then you're just short. So it's unusual to get dealt like your 4 modal lands in the hand, but sometimes it happens. I do not think we play Reclaim. We might have to just drop the Scoot Swarm here on turn 3, which is never ideal. Do we Reclaim now? It would get us to 4 pretty safely. I think it's likely we find land in the next couple of hands. Or sorry, the next couple of cards. I mean, on the next turn, we're probably going to want to vanquish something. But then, like, these are expensive, which is why I'm thinking kicking and reclaim might be important. As is the aesthetic, it's very expensive. And our deck hasn't exactly been present with the land, but I think we're just going to get into a situation here where we won't be able to reclaim. We can't afford to not do anything on these next 2 turns. So we're going to see what he plays here. If he shows us blue, for example, like blue-white, we would drop this Scoot Swarm and then just not attack with it or not block with it. Even in green, there's not many removal spells that would kill it. Land! Absolutely. So I think we play the Swarm. We'll just hope he doesn't have the removal. Rabbit Bite is pretty much all that would do it. Well, there's other uncommons that would do it as well. But we didn't have any other creatures to play, so Scoot it is. There it is, Rabbit Bite. Okay, we do have a couple of reanimate spells, so it's not the end of the world. We're just trying to get to a point where we're not in danger of dying. Veteran Adventurer. There's Thwart. So I think we're going to attack, play the Ascetic. If the Ascetic dies, like let's say it trades with the Adventurer, then we'd have a party member in a graveyard for the Thwart. The cost of playing Thwart will go up by 1 though. So, excuse me, if we don't hit a land, we could always just kill the Adventurer with Deadly Lines, which we'd still have enough mana for. And I'm hoping his Rabbit Bite was the best of his removal. We're about to find out, though. That's better. So now I think we just swing with the Baloth and play the Stomper. We'll even bounce 1 land to keep our landfall party going here. Wow, we played some big beaters. big creatures. His little Skyclave Cleric is looking pretty sad here. That's him running away on his little... What is that, an antelope? The Adventurer, though, is down for some adventure. He's ready to go. Do we just kill this Adventurer and go for the win? Yeah. Okay, we are into the next game. Another good opening hand. Way to go, Jack. Colony turn 2, Sentinel turn 3, maybe put a counter on it with Cell Strike, blow him out, start attacking in the air. Snarecaster, good defensive creature. I'm hoping by the time we get to a point where we have nothing else to do, we can kick Reclaim. Squid. I would kind of like to attack and blow him out, but we can blow him out without putting a counter on our creature. So let's attack next turn, maybe blow him out with Subtle Strike, put a counter on the Sentinel. He might attack here. Okay, let's see if he has Royal into the Royal maybe. Oh, our creature would still die if we do it this way. That's kind of stupid. Do we just let this trade happen then? Wow, I can't add. I'm like, yeah, we can still kill that, but our creature would still die. And he could respond with that. I don't think he has anything though, the way it's passed through phases. Yeah, we got other ways to put counters on our dude. Let's try blowing him out. Let's try killing this thing. Trample. Creatures with counters have trample. End turn. Confounding Conundrum? Wow, this card is so bad. It does absolutely nothing. Wait a second. Whenever we play a land, if we play 2 lands on the same turn, we have to bounce one of them. That would actually help with landfall creatures like the Scythe Cat. I mean, seriously? Alright, let's attack. Anti-cog. Yeah, that works. Creature to our graveyard. We don't mind that. We will need a party member to die at some point here. Visionary draws him a card, which is nice. We're definitely going to kick Reclaim now. The question is, do we attack? I don't think so. We've already got one non-party member in our graveyard. I think I want to keep the option open of swinging back at him if he comes at us. This is where he starts kicking stuff, I assume. 6 mana gives you enough to kick the blue wizards. He could get back his anti-cognition, but it's not as effective when he knows we have it. Yikes, that's big. Seagate Colossus, huh? I think I'm fine with this trade. I mean, in blue, he could have some flyers, but this is still good. Yeah. We will not bounce any lands. Mind Marasa. Okay. So here's the situation. We have Thwart the Graven Hand, which can get back this Stomper. However, it can only get back one creature if we don't have another party member in here. So we might as well play the Snarecaster or even the Survivor, chump with it, and then we can get it back. So I think the Survivor is the best chump. We can even put a counter on the Snarecaster. to make it a 2/5. Chump with the survivor. And then at least we'll have 2 creatures we can get back. Another Colossus? Wow, okay. What do we put the counter on? I'm thinking the Snarecaster, if we double block with the colony. I kind of like a 2/5 with reach though. No sense putting it on the Colossus, it's gonna die in a trade. Let's put it on the colony because then it can block with the survivor, it could double block. No sense returning a land, maybe 1 to our hands. These are some big colossi. It looks like a scene from the start of Pacific Rim, you know, where you get those money shots of the Jaggers kind of posing while they're winning, and then things start going downhill, they start losing. This guy looks like he's posing after he just took out a kaiju. What? What? Greg played Bailoff. This guy has some big creatures, man. We'll hold the land. Okay, here he comes. Or not. Wow. Deck is letting us down again, all this land. I guess there's something else he wants to do while it's tapped now. Like that. Look at this guy's deck, man. Look at these creatures. They're freaking massive. Wow. And he still doesn't want to attack. Is he setting us up for something here? Okay, we'll lose 1 colony here. That's fine. He could have a duelist. He could have Chilling Trap, but he's got no wizards. Makes me think he doesn't have it. Okay, if you want to trade 7/5s for 4/4s, I'm A-okay. That's a good one. But it can't kill anything. His creatures are freaking massive. I guess we could fight in response if he has some sort of trick. Field research, but doesn't kick it. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen creatures this big played in succession like this. Like, is this what his whole deck looks like, or did he just draw every single big threat he has? Okay. I'm thinking we just block with the Stomper here because if he has a response to, let's say, pump his creature, then we can respond by calling the ambush. Whereas if we block like this, and he has some, and we respond with calling the ambush, we have to fight with the Stomper. And we basically 2-for-1 ourselves. So we'll just block like this. Alright. There it is. And he's got the answers. We need some removal is what we need. Come on, deck. So he can play lands from his graveyard. So he could play this as a land. I mean, I thought our creatures were big, but they're not apparently. His creatures are much bigger. But if we draw some removal here, we might be able to pull our way out of this. That's a good one too. We'll take that. Ooh, wait. We're actually, how many cards are in our grave? 11. Okay. I was going to say we should play a land to make sure we can pay for an anti-cognition, but with this many cards in our graveyard, you can't pay the anti-cognition cost. So this has reach. It should be noted. It's not like we're getting in for damage, but it is big. It has lifelink. We're hoping to draw some removal here. Scythecat. He gets double landfall triggers from his Green Warden as well. We would love Deadly Alliance. I think we gotta kill this Green Warden. Like... this Yumara... If we go like this, we only lose 2 creatures. No, we'd have to block like that. He's gonna want to kill... He's gonna want to kill our Snarecaster, which means... He's probably only going to have enough left to kill the Visionary. No, he can... He's not going to have enough left to kill anything. So it's either these two or the Snarecaster. If the Snarecaster lives, that's pretty good. It can block the Wizard. The other option is go like this. And then we only lose 2... Oh, whoops. This. We got lots of time here, so let's think about this. We definitely want this thing to die. What if we went like this, this, and this? So he kills 2 survivors. No, he would only kill the Snarecaster then. 3, 5, 7. And we keep our lifelinking flyer. We keep jumpers. I think we go like this. He elects to kill as many creatures as possible. If this Baloth comes in next turn, we just have no way to kill it without double blocking. But we'd kill something else. Alright. Oh no! No! I meant to hit Territorial Scythecat. Ah! Ah, that hurts. Man, we were... Ah. Man, the land got... Ah. Now we gotta chump it instead of double blocking it. Ah. And it's hexproof, so we're just never gonna climb out of this hole now. Unless we draw a Scootsworm, but yeah, we're not so lucky. We all gotta block something. Good game. Wow, I have yet, like, those were massive, massive creatures just played in succession. What are you supposed to do against that? And we didn't draw a single removal spell. I guess we did draw Colony Ambush, but... And there's Deadly Alliance, but did that get milled or did we play it? Maybe I'm just full of it. I feel like we were a little overmatched. Good game. Alright, we are into the next game. I have to say, like, for the record, I would probably never have run those creatures. I mean, seeing what was in his deck, it didn't look like he had many party members, so those double double Colossi didn't exactly come down cheap, and then he's got a 7-drop Baloth, like a what else was there? Something else really big and expensive. Like, yeah, it worked out well for him, but I'd be interested in seeing like what his deck looked like, because on the surface, I absolutely would not have run that many creatures, like, or that many expensive creatures, I should say. You know, maybe he just absolutely crushed us, but in the remainder of his games, he does not draw what he needs to cast those. So what are we doing here? We're definitely playing a swamp. Uh, against, I think we want Colony here. It's got something. Thought Thief coming down. Nope. If he didn't counter that, would he counter this? I don't know. Nope. Okay, Cascades here. Scry's 1. I think while he's tapped out, we just play the ambush, get a landfall trigger. Whatever he blocks, we'll kill with Subtle Strike. We do have the Stomper, which can bounce these modal lands, it should be mentioned. If we attack with the Colony, it gives away that we have something, but even if he doesn't block at all, we can just play the Snarecaster, so we go. Okay, looking okay so far. Another Cascades here, huh? Scry's 1. Man, I wish we had the mana to cast that Deadly Alliance. But we are definitely going to keep the pressure on here. Now he's got something. So I'm thinking Duelist. Maybe we just don't attack and hope to get up to that mana for the Deadly Alliance. He's got one mana. It's got to be Duelist or it's got to be Chilling Trap. Chilling Trap probably is just as likely here considering there's a Wizard in play. I don't think I'm attacking then. Nope. You're going to have to get that value somewhere else, bro. Blood Price takes 2 damage but draws 2 cards, which is helpful. If we hit a land here, we'll be in serious business. We'll get landfall triggers. We can cast Deadly Alliance in response. Totally blow him out. There it is. So when he Chilling Traps here, we're going to kill the Cascades here. And he's not going to get to draw a card. He's going to lose 2 cards. This is just absolutely going to crush him. Or it's a Duelist. Okay. So do we... These both have Trample. He's not going to block here. So he's going to block one of the Tramplers. And then we get to kill his Cascades here. Yeah. Wow, that was crushing. That was absolutely crushing. Good game. Good game. Okay, we are into next game. Definitely a keep. Scythe Cat probably turn 3. If we don't hit a land, we'll do Vassal Fortification and the Snarecaster. This has a land, I mean. Back Beast. Okay. Maybe we play the Snarecaster then as a block. We can still get the trigger on the landfall next turn if we play the Scythe Cat before the land. And I'd like to draw a basic land that we could do that with. Double Thwart the Grave. I think we want... This is a good card to go to our graveyard too. I didn't even register all the cards in our hand. Okay, double Thwart, but we don't have another black source. Demon's Disciple. Okay, that's gonna kill. That's gonna put the Snarecaster in the graveyard. Come on, black source. Okay. If we can find that black, we'll be in great shape. I mean, he keeps killing our stuff. We just keep bringing it back. The Ascetic is an awesome creature to bring back. But our deck has given us serious mana issues in this tournament. We just can't seem to draw the right combinations of colors. Can't really get angry at hitting our first 4 land drops though, so maybe I'm just greedy. Okay, kills our Scythe Cat. Like that land for the Ascetic now. Black, come on, black. Show me that black. Ugh, we'll take that though. There it is. We're in business. The Visionary is probably better to get back than the Scythe Cat, I think. I might even trade here. But no, I'm not. Because the Ascetic can block this easily. So we'll take 2. Blight's Priest in his Cleric's deck. So he's playing Clerics. He hasn't played any ways to gain life yet, which is good for us. Do we attack here? I think I like that, because if he doesn't block, which he probably won't, at least we know we'll have a Visionary in play to keep the cost of Thwart the Grave down. So if the Ascetic dies, we're still going to have the 5 mana necessary to thwart. Hopefully he doesn't get binded by Nahiri's Binding, but at least he'd still be in play and lower the cost of these spells as well. So double Deadly Alliance, double thwart. We got everything we need. Perfect. Fill that graveyard, bro. Okay, so I think I want to get back the Snarecaster actually, and the Ascetic would be good. Let's attack first to make sure there's no or sorry, let's cast it first to make sure. If we attack with this and then he practice tactics, then we would suddenly not have the mana to do this, which would be bad. So we can even hold the Florahedron. I mean, I guess it could block the Pack Beast in some kind of world where that's necessary. Well, that has to die. If we draw another black, we can even kill it and thwart. Tourney 2. Aw, not the ascetic. No. No. Alright, so this is a warrior. What I'm thinking is, I want to put the counter on the Visionary to encourage him to trade the Blight Priest with it. And then we'll have a Visionary and a Scythe Cat we can get back. And then we can just kill the Scavenger with Deadly Alliance. He might think, oh, I'm going to take 4 here, but I can drain him for more if I keep this alive. And that's what he's going to do. So I suppose if we... I'm going to wait to kill this thing. We'll see if he, we want him to act like this is going to get through. He could protect his creature, I guess, but we'd still get a card out of his hand and then just kill it again. Now maybe he's got his own Forth the Grave, which would suck. Alright, again, we're going to try to encourage this trade. Whoops. Or are we fine with that and just hold Deadly Alliance? We can get it back along with our Scythe Cat. I think that's fine. I kind of want to save our creature. Like, we could Deadly Alliance in response, and then we'll basically 2 for 3 him. But seeing as we don't have much that is a party member we can get back from our graveyard, I think we just let this happen. Unfortunately, the cost of this went up a little bit. There's nothing we can do about that. Whoops. Choose a creature, this one. Choose a party member, this one. Now, I think we play this as a land. Scale landfall trigger. Skulker, okay. So this has Death Touch because the Pack Beast counts as a party member, as a rogue. So if he tries to block something big with this, we could blow him out by killing the Pack Beast. We can also blow him out by Subtle Striking the Pack Beast. So I think we go here, here. What's he going to block? He's going to block the Scythe Cat. So we kill the Pack Beast, put a counter on the Scythe Cat. And it's a massive blowout. I like that. Okay, Baloth. Silencer is going to kill something with 2 toughness, kills our visionary. Man, this is not a good card. Do not play this card if you can. I mean, 6 mana for what it does is just not enough. It's not reliable enough. So we're going to reclaim, find some land, play a land, kill him, win the game. So I guess we wait until blocks. We can't kill him directly here. The Bailoff does not have trample. Wow, he blocked. Okay, so he is dead. The one with trample is going to finish him here. Good game. Okay, we are into the next game. This is a keep. We have 3 lands. A couple of motos we're going to have to play as lands. But we're not going to make the mistake we made in that earlier loss, I think, where we did not play them as lands. So we do have a Stomper. Yeah, it sucks, but it sucks more to lose. So I think this one first. Now we're going to play this and get a touch greedy here. If we draw a basic, we can play it. If we don't, we'll play the ambush as a land, one of them, and then put a counter on this with the survivor. Sproutling does not kick it for value. I think it's still one of the ambushes. Now we can bail off and we should be in okay shape. Rabbit Bite, Binding. That sucks. It doesn't go to our graveyard. Smite, okay. Now what do we do? I think we have to play this ambush as yet another land, which sucks. Or we could just vanquish here. We'll do it on our turn so he can't respond with some sort of pump spell to increase its power and cause this to fizzle. And then swing for 1. I have a feeling though the way he dropped this Sproutling, he might have another one. Let's see if I'm wrong. We'll wait one more turn. Come on, basic land. Bailoff. Ah! Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to play this. We'll pass. If we hit that land, what do we do? Ah, it sucks. Maybe I should have played the colony there if I was going to do that. Okay, his creatures are getting big. That's bad for us. No blocks. This deck, man. I'd probably chump the Bailoff with the Survivor at this point. Hornbeetle's bad. We even played our removal, so we can't get it back. What's in here? Bailoff and Survivor. We could bring the Bailoff back, bring the Survivor back, put the counter on the Sentinel, and then swing. And we still have something we could chump with. Oops, did that wrong again. Creature, party member. No, not again. Didn't we lose to this already? And a kite sail and we're dead? What? Well, that's game. Well, I meant to actually review the deck here, but clicked wrong. I think we had a solid deck. I guess 5 wins is fine. I think we lost the Maul twice, or was that previous loss in a different game? I don't know. Anyways, we had a solid deck, decent things going on. It wasn't much of a counters deck. Like, it didn't have a lot of counter synergy or counter payoffs, I would say, but it was a solid deck, good removal. Yeah, we just didn't get as many wins as I would have hoped. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and tune in for tournament number 3.